All right, what's up, worldwide family? Welcome back to the channel, Jimmy Flippin' Deals. Thank you so much for joining me. The title of this video is I was wrong about everything, well, almost everything that I've been doing over the last year and a half for my business organizationally. Now, when I first started reselling, I am, in a sense, although I do have a retail background, I am kind of inventing the wheel, developing my processes and what works and what doesn't, and that's where I'm in at the moment. And I think as resellers, we all start in one way in particular, and it is the pile, right? Like when we first decide that, hey, this is something we're going to do, whether it's by novice or full-time, you start with that box over there, that's my stuff, over and above the, hey, I have the one item on the shelf that I want to sell on eBay. When it gets to be more than that, it ends up in the box, and then the box becomes a pile, right? And then the pile generally becomes a tote, right? And as time progresses, right, those totes stack on top of each other. At least that's been my experience. There may be people that invent steps or skip steps, but that's been my experience. And then from the totes, I've gone to shelves, and man, the shelves are so much better than lifting all those heavy totes. I have these big totes, so they'll hold a lot, right? Because who wants small totes that don't fit a lot of the bigger stuff? So I bought these fairly decent sized totes, and to lift 4 or 5 of them off each other to get down to the one I need was ridiculous, so finally, after working hard and doing the darn thing for quite some time, I was able to start doing shelves, which allowed me 2 different things: the ability to stop stacking or nesting the totes, and I don't care about the safe space because the time frame is far better for shelves, far better. At any rate, and it also allowed me a spot to stick those bigger things that don't necessarily fit into the totes, right? Like I have big Nerf guns or lava lamps that just wouldn't work, or quite a bit of stuff actually is overpowering in the boxes that can't, in the totes that you put 3 of them in there, and that's the deal, right? So I've spent lots and lots of money, buku bucks on totes, right? On these big 27-gallon. Matter of fact, I posted on my social media, trailers full, and I say that, and I mean, I'm probably in the I'm in the triple digits, right, on totes, easy, I think, and into the triple digits of totes. And I didn't go cheap. Like, I didn't go the whatever you call those, the little Walmart ones. I didn't, the ones that break and stuff. I went with ones that will be around for many years to come. The lids are kind of up in there. Over almost 2 years, I have cracked 2 lids, but I was stacking them 5 high, so I kind of had that coming to me. You put 75 pounds in each one, and you stack them 5 tall. The bottom one's got 400 and something pounds, roughly, on the lid, right? So it's not necessarily the tote's fault. And over time, some of the bottom ones have started to flex at the bottom, so not necessarily a great system, but they have held true. I know the cheaper ones would not have done half of that, and now that I have the shelves, the minor deformation on a few affected totes is not horrible, because now they're no longer dependent on holding the weight of all the ones. Long story short, getting to my point, right? The other day, and I did a video called "You're Killing Me Smalls," because I had 23 orders go out, and they were all little items that were in big totes. And whether or not they were on the wall that still has nested totes, because I'm not 100% shelves yet, or whether or not they were just in the individually on the shelf totes, which makes it so much faster than the nested by far. But here's where I'm going. Each time, regardless of whether I had to go down 5 totes in a stack in order to get to it, or whether or not I was able just to pull a tote off the shelf and grab what I needed, I was still looking for, if you will, and these are big totes, so 27 by 18 by 16 roughly. Don't kill me on my exact measurements, but roughly, right? Trying to find, if you will, a tube of toothpaste in there, and it inevitably is on the bottom, right? And I've gone through whether or not I label each one, or whether or not I scan barcodes. But on some of these, just to emphasize my point and over exaggerate the numbers, there's like 100 things in a tote, and I'm searching through trying to find the right one, right? And I'm in my head, I'm feeling operationally, you're just killing yourself on this stuff, because these are low dollar items for one. It took me almost 8 hours I don't know that it took me 8 hours, but it took me forever to fill these 23 orders, right? Maybe 4 hours, but still, nevertheless, and I'm making like $3-4 a piece off of them. When they come up, a $20 profit and then a $3, you don't necessarily notice it, because in the day you're well into the double, triple digits, $200-300 worth of profit, and everything seems right with the world, right? Because that's not a horrible day. But when it was all of these, I realized how much time is drained by looking for the deal. And so drawers have always been on the in the peripheral, like long-term goals, as far as for select items, not necessarily big boxes, but the little stuff. And just like with my parcel boxes that I did, right? I had them in my yard for 9 months, overthinking how I wanted to take these horizontally designed boxes and turn them vertical, because they're basically job site work boxes, right? And turn them horizontal so they look more like parcel boxes. And nevertheless, I didn't get the benefit for 9 months, because I'm trying to get the right welder that I can afford, like the person, not the stuff, because I'm not a welder, and get him moving, and get something I can afford and get it done the right way. And then I'm just overthinking until finally I said, forget it, they're designed horizontally, I'll anchor them horizontally, and I have reaped the benefits ever since, even though it's not as aesthetically purpose serving as what I'd like. It's not as good as what I'd like. The benefit from it is just huge. Well, I applied the same philosophy to the drawers. I was wanting to build these drawers within these massive shelves that I bought. I didn't go cheap on the shelves either. I bought the big shelves, the real metal ones, the interlocking from Home Depot. They can hold, 6,000 pounds or something. They're like one step below the industrial ones, right? That you can't even buy in the store. But nevertheless, so it's starting to look like a warehouse for one. But at any rate, I didn't go cheap, and I was going to build these drawers inside of them. And the time loss is the nicest way of putting that. I have a term that's not appropriate, and I'll use it, and maybe y'all can give me a better use of the word, but I can't seem. It's a time suck, right? Like, it just drains the time. Maybe that's it. For me to do all that, like I've got to take my time away from reselling. Either that, or I've got to pay somebody, which I'm cheap. So, and ultimately, I may still do all of those things. But what I did do is I went just to check the process, and I bought these little 3-drawer deals from Walmart, right? And anyway, I was able to divide each drawer up into halves, assign each divided section its own location within my inventory management. So now I'm no longer looking through 100 items, if you will. I'm looking through 10 or maybe 15, but really 10. I keep looking up here. It's right here. But yeah, so I already, after putting this together yesterday, sold 2 things within that deal to the same person. And rather than it taking 5 to 10 minutes to pull an item, which realistically is exactly what it was taking, it took less than a minute to pull the item. Less than a minute. Saving 9 minutes per unit is awesome. So I've been wrong. I'm learning. I figured I'd pass that on. I told y'all I'd take y'all on my journey. I'll show it to you in the next video. I'll show you the system with the labels and all of that stuff, just to give you an idea of what I'm working with, just for content's sake. But I hadn't dropped a video in a while, so I went ahead and I was available, so I knocked it out here. I'm going to go off into the store, see if I can find some money on the shelf. So I will see y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. All right, bye.